for me. I agree with the point with the D.Va because I think so many people overlook her protective ability. And I think of LG Evo when it comes to that, about how good Jake is because he just lives in the matrix. And you can never shoot at him because he's always inside the defense matrix. I think some teams should adopt that, especially when you're running like dive compositions. She's a great addition to dive comp.
Well, in general, too, I think it's also teams taking notes from what you see in foreign competitions like Apex, where Koreans definitely run D.Va in a different way than Western players are running her for quite a long time. But eventually, people look at what's going on and they realize, okay, you can actually run this pretty effectively by doing this. And, you know, people learn from each other.
We'll see how it goes. A couple of Anas on the field, Rockus on one side. It's going to be interesting to see how Bonnie does on the Ana. Hasn't played much of it yet today, but getting very aggressive, already in on the first point on Hanamura, and they're just pushing the defense back. Defense will come in now on the counter dive, trying to isolate Buds. They do. That's the first kill.
And that's tough here for the defense. All right, they lose Buds early on. It's now 5v5, but again, there's a substantial respawn advantage here for the attackers. So for FaZe, this isn't a bad opening. If Louis can stay alive here, get healed and come back in, then support Shadowburn, which it's looking like he is. Things are getting rough here for FNRGFE, and it just escalates in a hurry. Have your pulse munitions back, says Shadowburn to Clockwork.
Just want to give Rockus so much credit for just waiting that out, keeping Shadowburn alive. Of course, a beautiful deflect, but it is often the unseen hand of healing that wins fights, and Rockus has done a lot of that, as evidenced by his already ready nano boost. And they're going to be set up with a really nice window after they take this, because they could get a boosted blade in, and we know that these kind of maps, assault maps, you need that clean fight, and a boosted blade can give you that.
A terrible tide is coming, and its name is FaZe. FNRGFE going to have to buckle down in a hurry here because of what FaZe can potentially do here. Now, the upside is that Clockwork can ruin this by getting to the backline, but he's really far back.
He's
like,
really slow.
He's really not, he's too slow in this fight. Finally, he's coming back up, has used his dashes. Is the pulse bomb gonna connect? It gets on the Winston, but he leaps away from his team, so he doesn't inadvertently blow them up. So Clockwork at least getting back to fight in time. FNRGFE having more time to build up ultimates here, but they're not out of the fire here yet. A Nano Blade very well could be on the menu here. Shadowburn, the Blade, unleashed, looking for targets, diving in, and not quite as good as he would like. Meanwhile, Buds connects on his Blade, picks up 2, and this fight is a lot more even than FaZe would like, given that you have to almost flawlessly win to take Hanamura in many cases.
You have to almost 6-0 for assault points, and especially Hanamura, they're going to respawn rather quickly. Those 2 kills by Buds probably just won them the defense already there. All over with the Cryon, as Spree and Factor Fiction will eventually leave the point, wait, and try to get another reset here. So that was their best window, getting the blade. I was a little bit surprised that Shadowburn didn't go after the Ana. Maybe he just really fears the Sleep Dart, because he had scouted out where that Ana was.
Shadowburn's target selection there just wasn't good. He didn't identify the targets to go on quickly enough, and he pulled out his blade before thinking. And that's not really a great combination. So FaZe now stuck with a much taller mountain to climb as they move in here once more. Hard to get a full team wipe with just one ultimate on deck, as Factor Fiction ends up taking a little bit of a nap in the back.
Yeah, sleeping outside of the spawn doors. Louis is able to take down Bunk, though, and now they're putting together the kills they need. That is 2 kills right away on this offense.
Shadowburn remembering they can get plenty of kills without Dragon Blade. Vintage Shadowburn, in fact, picking up 2. And FaZe making something out of nothing here. Spree piling on, and FaZe, who needs a lot to take this anyways? The Dragon Blade has been built up in the middle of the fight. Shadowburn looking to finish us off with a bang. D.Va obliging. Self-destruct in action. And FNRGFE scrambling over their own butts right now to get back on the point, and it's not going to happen.
Unable to do it. I like that composition from this team too, putting Louis on the Tracer there towards the end. They combined for a bunch of kills. Louis is a gifted hit scan player, and Shadowburn redeeming himself and getting the kills that they needed there to take over. I mean, I don't know, even capturing Hanamura last just puts him in a good position. We saw this held for nearly 5 minutes earlier today, Hanamura last. You can hold for 5 to 8 minutes on Hana last. It's a hard assault point to capture.
This is not good for FNRGFE, because not only do they need to finish out Hanamura, which we do not see teams always do, they also have to do it with enough time remaining that they can come back in. And also, just for added salt in the wound, if they finish it out with 0 time left on the clock, they don't even get another attack. So this is not ideal for FNRGFE right now. FaZe, of course, in the final third map, has to be feeling very good about their chances to take the set.
Yeah. So did we ever decide if the robot is painting the graffiti or removing it? He looks devious to me.
I feel like he's removing it, or it's just the worst robot ever because it's crooked. It is literally slanted.
I think he's spraying, please don't spray graffiti on this wall. That's what I think that translates to.
I don't know what that makes him at that point. I mean, at some point it's efficient. He gets to remove less graffiti, but he's also not...
He's an irony robot. That's what he's programmed for. He's programmed for irony in maximum situations. Interesting here that Shadowburn is this far out. I guess, you know what? I don't mind it. I'm trying something new on Hana first because it's a very difficult point to just straight up defend. Get aggro here. Why not? I like this.
Hex, you're thinking far too strategically about this. They clearly just wanted to enjoy some ramen.
Fair enough. I mean, I did not see the posters on the wall. And yeah, I know I dig that strategy too. But I think they're gonna hack Megas and get out of there because Mega is a really nice peck to have for the offense.
Well, in any case, Faze is going to be backing out a bit here. Not quite.
Do they know this is coming? This is a weird rollout too.
This is all sorts of strange on both sides. Neither side really knows what the other side is going for here. But it is going to result in Faze getting pushed back pretty heavily. This is a little bit rougher. They don't want to lose anyone early on because the offense is just going to be able to snowball that really quickly. And they're doubling down. They're diving right back into FNRGFE. They lose Rockets in the process. 5 versus 5, and was one of the stranger skirmishes to open up Hanamura that I think I've seen.
It was quite odd. Kills are coming in late from Buds. Losing Rockets, they're really hurt because he's at 73%, so they're going to try to delay it a little bit. Losing Louis that far out also hurts. I think it would be best for them to jump off the edge and save any potential EMP for next fight. This one is largely over, in my opinion.
I don't think throwing an EMP into this would be a good idea. It'd be throwing good money after bad.
Yeah.
And to Faze's credit, they recognize that. So now we get to the stage where Faze has to hunker down and get ready to defend for quite a long time. 6.5 minutes left as they defend the last part of the Hanamura Shrine.
Should be interesting to see if Rockets stays on this. EMP does come out right away. Everyone now very vulnerable. Clockwork is exactly where he wants to be up on that point, but still not getting any onto the point. You will eventually find Rockets. Shadowburn's got the blade out, looking for a little bit, but not clean enough yet.
Clockwork setting up camp here in the back. This is a dangerous spot to let Soldier set up as he's uncontested. A lot of damage is coming in from Clockwork here. No one's going in on him. And FNRGFE, could they be striking back? This would be pretty momentous given how this started out.
Jeez.
The wall is not safe. Nowhere is safe. Clockwork is going wild here. And FNRGFE, could they turn this into a quick strike right back? It could very well be the case.
Yeah, Buds has the blade. He's going to get a couple of dashes all the way through. Stall out time is coming. If they can find 1 kill or 2 kills, that'd be great for them. Soundberry will come out for both sides here. You need to start seeing some Faze in the kill feed. There's 1.
Well, they take down Buds, but Clockwork is still doing so much. Please, stop this man. He has a rifle. He has a glowing visor. Do something. And even as that's happening, Enigma drops a post bomb, D-Mex, and kills Lucio.
Yeah, they've been focusing Spree because it's the only potential answer to Clockwork. So Spree came out, gets pulse bombed, and immediately deleted. Another visor comes out for Clockwork. That will finally put him to bed for the moment, at least.
You see, you think he got hit by a sleep dart, but he was just tired from doing so much work. You can only carry the backpack so far, Hex. In any case, Faze now showing some signs of bringing this back with the smallest of margins.
I love this switch by Buds.
The Widow is so good here because now you have to break through and get on the Buds. But
not enough pressure on the point.
I think Faze is going to stabilize here with such a small margin.
Very close to completing that. Clockwork put the team on his back. I actually wish he would have just stayed up top here. He put himself in a more vulnerable position down there. He was able to get a lot more damage in down there, though. Shadowburn's gonna have Blade looking to rain on the parade here with 2 quick kills already. Wow.
He's swinging that Blade awful hard, powered up by the nano boost. Grabs 2 immediately, and Faze finally wanting peace and quiet, wanting the unwanted house guests to finally leave, and everyone knows how difficult it can be to get them to leave. They get a moment of reprieve.
Yeah, really nice for them to pull it back is how close it was for Faze, and now the calm after the storm has come. Buds is staying on this Widow, which is a little bit interesting. He does have the ultimate available for him, so he's going to be able to see through walls here momentarily, should he so choose, but I like it as a closeout mechanic, but they know the Widow's out here now.
I'm not really sold on remaining here. I mean, Widow's always a wild card, right?
Yeah.
Where you can go in, get some very key pickoffs, and that's that. I think if this doesn't work here, he'll swap off, but you have the recon site. Why not go for it? Test your luck, test your might, see if you get that early pickoff. Hasn't quite happened here just yet.
See if he can get something going. Factor Fiction is able to get onto this. Widow, a nice leap early on, and Buds is out of it. 2 quick kills for the defense means that this fight is essentially over. Now we just wait to see who cleans up the remaining health points on everyone else. Clockwork gonna hoof it, try to get out of there. They're building to somewhat close, a few ults that they can use in combination. Buds, as predicted, will return to the Cyber Ninja.
Genji is really one of the better tools to clear out last point Hanamura. Just his ability to chain kills and get dash resets to move in. It's what you need when the name of the game in Assault is not just winning the fight, but winning it in a decisive manner. So I do like swapping back the Genji here. I do think Clockwork can do some decent work with Attack Visor, but there's a lot of ways Faze can delay this out here, so it's always difficult coming back in.
A really nice Helix will set up that kill onto Geomeister, now sensing that they will have the advantage. They bust out their own sound barrier. They will boost Shadowburn's Genji, but he finds nothing as Clockwork continues to carry this team.
Clockwork, this has been some of the best gameplay we've seen from him almost ever.
Yeah.
He gets several vital kills there in the middle of it. The Transcendence is out, and Faze once more back in mortal peril. They really did not expect to have this happen again so quickly. FNRGFE not going down without a fight, not going down easily, but Shadowburn, Dragonblade is out. Can he pull this back as he's done many times before?
Nope.
No. The answer is no.
Gets Tesla tickled down as the kill feed continues to light up with Clockwork's handiwork. He's able to D-max. Spree has done nothing to dissuade Clockwork. He's been the primary target of Clockwork, actually, and they will eventually cap it out on Hanamura. Thanks in large part to, as you mentioned, and I'm in awe right now, it is probably the best we've seen Clockwork play in a while.
The legend is true.
Yeah.
The rumors of his demise were
greatly exaggerated.
Yeah. Good for Clockwork, man. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of expectations for playing Overwatch, and I'm not going to proclaim that he's suddenly seized them after one good round, but it's a promising sight.
For people who don't know, I think it's indisputable that he's in the conversation for the best Team Fortress 2 player ever. Yes. He's undisputably in the top 5, but you could make an argument that he's the best player who's ever played that game. So it's nice to see him having some more success in Overwatch. Of course, he's with a couple of his old TF2 friends, maybe feels a little bit more comfortable in the game, but that's great Soldier play. Soldier on that last point is so good, too. You've got that whole ledge to sit up there. He even went down and just went on the ground level. And what was great is that the rest of his team knew that the only way they could stop Clockwork is if Spree gets there. So every time Spree left spawn, he's getting focused. He got pulse bombed. Spree never had a chance on that D.Va.
Poor Spree. That's one of those things where teams do prioritize blowing up D.Vas a lot more than they did in the past, just because it's a pain if you leave a D.Va up. You don't want defensive matrix eating ultimates, eating key focus fire, turning someone that was 20 HP away from death into someone who runs away and gets healed by an Ana. So these are things you can contain by focusing on D.Va, and fortunately Spree ran afoul of that.
Well, we do have the interesting composition for FaZe Clan again, as Raucus is going to be hacking these packs on the Sombra. They want to fight up front, and again, I haven't seen a whole lot of this. I'm not sure entirely how it's supposed to work. I imagine an early EMP is a large part of this. That's a very nice kill from Shadowburn. Is going to dissuade Enigma. He has to return to spawn.
A few shurikens delivered right to the head work out, but Shadowburn pays the price. Ends up falling in turn 5 versus 5, and FaZe might want to continue. Oh, okay then.
Chunky.
Just, you know, layered in there in a delicate way, Louis getting that kill. But now he needs to back out. But early EMP is out, and Raucus says, can I play here in Sombra? Yes. Yes, you can. You can throw FNRGFE back to their spawn.
An EMP onto Zenyatta. I think they shouldn't even just give him 50 health. He should just evaporate, because it's going to happen anyway, right? 150 of his health peeled off. Zenyatta's always die. They should give him some cool turn into dust animation or something when an EMP goes off, because he's not living through it. You saw he was the primary target, and I think we're seeing exactly how this is supposed to work. Buds reprising his role onto the Reaper.
I like this. I like it more next patch, but I'd like it here nonetheless. Clockwork finds Louis early on. He was a little bit far out. 6v5 opportunity now for FNRGFE. And they're just waiting to see how they go in here. They're rope-a-doping FaZe a bit. They get 2 key kills. And now, by the way, they're on the point. just FYI, Faze, you might want to head back there if you have any people alive, which is quickly not becoming the case.
It is not going to be the case. They will grab this one eventually and clean up the remnants of it. And Overwatch is oddly, it's an objective-based game. You have to push cards, you have to get on points, and the kills don't really count. They help, they don't count.
So they get an extra 30 seconds from capping the point. 50 seconds left. FNRGFE gets one last attempt to go in and end up with 4 points here. So given the amount of time that Faze has, this is very crucial for FNRGFE, where if they don't at least cap this to put on significant progress, because that is a tiebreaker now on assault maps.
I actually like this from Enigma to just sneak on and make them come down to the point. The EMP does come off, and of course, like clockwork, haha, Banny goes down immediately after.
Sound barrier getting dropped here. Bud's going off, has 2 here early on. It's a very spread fight here for FNRGFE. You see Muma prioritizing the point. Shadowburn, though, late Dragon Blade of his own, starts to even things out a bit, getting a bunch of crucial kills. It's a 3K from Shadowburn, and FNRGFE. They tried to get a little bit of progress there. They did not get over a tick. And now, unless they have a miracle, they're just going to have to settle with no progress on second.
But they wanted something greater than 0. Probably one of the reasons they snuck their Tracer over to the side. Also to try to bring them off of the high ground onto the point. I like just applying that pressure from Enigma. They will capture point A after a valiant and innovative defense.
So let's set the stakes here for Faze to win this and move on to the final of the night. They effectively, let's assume that they take point A, which would be weird if they didn't take it in 4.5 minutes. It would require a pretty ridiculous defense from FNRGFE. They effectively have about 5 minutes to go from first to 1 tick on second. Not a full take.
Yeah.
They only need a full tick. This changes how FNRGFE defends on last, where you can't really abuse being spread out quite as much. You have to dedicate people to the point more actively because you simply can't risk someone getting a tick, which under normal cases wouldn't really be that big of a deal. In this case, it is actually Faze's win condition.
It means you can't really hold the high ground room. You know, that's where everyone always likes to hold, because if you go up there and they start putting pressure on the point, you have to clumsily fall down onto the point. It's not great. You have to hold low ground, and I think conceding the high ground at Clockwork 76 is not going to be ideal.
Certainly not. But FNRGFE, this is the road they must walk if they want to obtain the best seeding possible going into the group stages.
Well, we'll see what Faze has for us here. It looks like this is the composition that they ran well last time. Louis, of course, will be on the Tracer. Shadowburn on his Shadowburn. Yeah, I know what I did. He's on Genji, of course.
We're thinking about renaming Genji the Shadowburn.
He's transcended the hero. He's one of the few people in the game who has done so much work on the hero. They're just going to let them in the front for free. Muma's going to get a lot of cleave early on here. Louis took a lot of damage on the entry.
Winston took his entry toll. They did get quite a bit of damage out, which weakened the offense quite a bit. And FNRGFE, they're on the falter. Buds was more than willing to dive into that after that early Winston cleave, and Faze left running with their tail between their legs.
Yeah, they have to get out, so a nice defensive start. Only need to do 4 more of those, and they can outright win the map if they can hold on first. Let's not forget that is still, there's still a very decent win condition for them here.
Holding on first is possible. It's not super likely at the time they have, but it would be great to see them pull this off and really surprise Faze here. Faze, though, many opportunities to come in here, many times to build up their ults. And though Shadowburn is going to fall here immediately, and it's a good counter engage by FNRGFE, they're playing an endurance game right now. They have to keep this up for many pushes in a row.
Enigma's done a great job on this D.Va. He's protecting his team so well. A couple times they're dead to rights. They're really trying to focus down one of the tanks. Louis got in there and just got his clips entirely eaten by the D.Va of Enigma. He's been doing a lot of good work. They're able to get out at full force here, and Primal Rage is going to come out. It's going to knock them out of these Zords. They have to be careful, though. An overextension could cost them a lot here.
It certainly could, and we have the self-destruct coming in from Faze. They swarm in once more, but FNRGFE still in a good position. We'll see how this works out here. Buds holds on to Dragon Blade, but he's going to use it right into the sound barrier. Not optimal as Faze starting to take their toll and move this in. Clockwork and Bunzo's flanking DPS. Oh no, Buds has to dash back in. Almost sent on a trip.
Someone took his pack, it's gone.
He needs healing.
There. He needs healing. But Muma on the point is actually going to take out a couple. Clockwork and Buds did combine for the kills that they needed. A full reset. They've held twice here. We're down below 2.5 minutes now.
This is impressive from FNRGFE. Now, I see a light at the end of the tunnel, which is Faze potentially not getting this point and just losing here. This is tense. Shadowburn will have a Nano Blade, and he's usually pretty good about going through on this, but if he gets stopped, if he gets slept by Bonnie, if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, FaZe is in a world of hurt. But here comes Shadowburn. Dragon Blade is prepped. Raucus can set him to go at any moment. And here he goes. Nano Boost is in, grabs one, gets two, and it's successful. This is exactly what they needed to come back in. There was no hero play from FNRGFE, and now FaZe will have a little over 2 minutes after they count this to move in on second.
Going to be very difficult. I wonder if we'll see changes on this defense. You think maybe adding another tank into the mix might be good? I don't know exactly what the roster would look like with that. And one of the issues as well is who you're going to switch now as people are nearing their ultimates, but they're going to stay with a very similar composition. And as I mentioned, they can't really put a lot of resources into holding high ground because they don't want to cede the only one tick needed to win this map.
I would love to see FaZe just rush the middle and just boop and bop people off and play the fact that, yeah, they only have to get one tick.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen here from how they're playing this so far. FNRGFE, though, has plenty of resources. If they win this fight, they only need to win one more, but they lose Numa immediately. Soundbearer in from FaZe. Both teams drop the beat, and FaZe starts sauntering onto the point. The self-destruct into the air, sending people for cover, but while they're doing it, they get progress. Now it's up to Buds to pull this back cleanly, and here comes Factor Fiction. Primal Rage out, trying to just bop people off.
It's a nice sleep back there, actually, from Raucus, who's able to get that, or I'm sorry, actually from Bonnie back there, and he also hit a really nice anti-heal on the point as they were aggressing. This self-destruct is great. It's going to evict them from the point. No more progress will be taken as they start to get some kills here for FNRGFE.
This is big. We are down to the final minute. FaZe still only needs to get one tick, but that is easier said than done on Hanamura. FNRGFE has almost climbed the mountain, which would force us to a tiebreaker.
I've been so impressed with the Ana play from Bonnie here. He's been hitting darts that he needs to, and it's been great from him.
Well, Shadowburn was able to use the Nano Blade to break first. Will he be able to use the Nano Blade to break second and bring this map home from FaZe? He's setting up right now. He is the man of the hour. He's who FaZe has really been built around for months and months now. He could be the hero here. We'll have to see. Louis in the back with the tac visor. FaZe now rolling in. We'll see how this goes. It's a nice bio-nade. Hits everyone. This is a huge opportunity for FNRGFE. They get Raucus down immediately. Shadowburn does not have a nano boost on him and is looking for kills nonetheless. Ends up with 2. FNRGFE not out of the fire here yet, but that was the best chance they had of holding here, but it's Factor Fiction taking 2. FaZe striking, looking for the progress on the point and trying to pile on. Respawns are coming back in,
They just
but
need
they're
it.
almost
They're
there
so
and they
far.
get it! Oh.
I thought that defense was going to hold. The delay.
I mean, again, Bonnie hit a great bio-nade.
Yeah.
Raucus didn't even get to use his ultimate.
It's such a beautiful opening right there, and to not capitalize on that, that's rough. Whew. Bonnie's played great, though. I mean, as someone who I really only know as a Mercy from seeing some of his limited play before, that Ana play was great. He probably won them that first fight just based on his sleep of the Primal Rage. I think he was a standout player on a team full of very talented players today.
It was good tape for him. And
yeah.
But something to remember here for OW Contenders is that, yes, teams as a unit would love to win outright, and of course, they're not eliminated. They still have plenty of potential to go forward. But as it goes, other teams might go, you played really well, we want to pick you up. So I think in general, most of this team was able to cover themselves in glory here. So it's a good day for them.
Yeah, two players that really stood out in this one that you know, we've had many that have stood out today, but in this match specifically, Clockwork, I think he showed his worth in a lot of ways. And then of course, Bonnie playing Ana, he has played every support that he's played to the highest degree. The other side of things, FaZe, well, they've obviously shown themselves. It was a little bit tumultuous at times. Obviously went to that best of 3, went almost as long as you could possibly go without going to a tiebreaker. And it is great to see these teams as evenly matched as they are coming into the top 4 seeds as we've got going on now. Well, we've got one more match left. and it is going to be the final, and we have our teams for that. It is going to be FaZe, as we just watched them win, and they're going to be facing off against LG Evil here in just a second. We're going to go to a break, but before that, we're bidding you adieu for tonight. You'll be back tomorrow, obviously, so calm down, everyone in Twitch chat. But do you have any final words here from day one of the Overwatch Contender Season 0?
This has been a great day, and as you mentioned, putting down the game tape is so great for these days. There are multiple paths to being a pro, and watching all these teams, I sat down and watched these rosters. I'm like, are these all-star teams? Like, so many great players are playing. It's been a wonderful day.
This is a great time for Overwatch. There's going to be so many good games this month. It's exciting, and again, Gill, I mean, this is not the end. I mean, you say we're going to be seeing you again tomorrow. I'm going to be seeing you again later tonight after the broadcast.
But you won't. Everyone else out there, just follow us all on Twitter, and then you can, live vicariously through their tweets, as we'll probably have some, some FNRGFE tweets later, Anyway, well, either way, we're going to watch LG Evil face off against FaZe here in just a bit, but we'll see you right after a break.